An athletics team that will rely on defense and clutch pitching will need to get back on track. Tonight, Oakland turns the ball over to Dallas Braden, who will make his season debut. The green and gold look to rebound. It's game 2. Mariners, A's, next. On the hit machine, Ichiro Suzuki and the Seattle Mariners are in town. It's Tuesday night baseball from the Coliseum. It is a cool but a clear night, a nice night for baseball. Game 2 of this 4-game series. The Seattle Mariners and the Oakland A's. And you'll see it right here on Comcast Sportsnet, California. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball, along with Ray Fosse. I'm Glenn Kuiper. Disappointing loss for the A's last night in front of the big crowd, but baseball's great because you play 162 games, so they'll get back at it tonight. Dallas Braden on the mound, and Ray, we talked about Ben Sheets looking forward to his start last night, but I got to imagine Dallas Braden, who missed the last 2 months of last season, he's ready to go too.
Yeah, just 22 starts last year because of the foot injury, but watching him pitch during spring training, this young man knows how to pitch. He's a gutsy pitcher. He's not going to let a little foot problem keep him from taking the mound. I think we can only hope that he makes about 34 to 35 starts this year, because if he does, he's capable of having a very good winning season. He's got the great fastball. He's picked up the cut fastball. He'll throw the changeup anytime to any batter. One of my favorites when he throws 3 in succession to get a hitter out. But Dallas Braden with a great pickoff move, so maybe that in itself keep each roll off the bases, as well as Sean Figgins. If they do get on, there's no doubt Dallas Braden is going to keep them close and help Kurt Suzuki. But he is a gamer. He knows how to pitch. It is a thrill to watch him. And, of course, we always get to hear 209, area code 209, when he takes the mound here at the Coliseum.
Indeed, it will be a cat-and-mouse game tonight with the stolen bases. No stolen bases allowed last year by Dallas Braden, so we will keep a close eye on that. Braden and the A's taking on the Seattle Mariners. We'll have lineups and first pitch from the Coliseum in just a moment.
TNT, a better 3G experience. And by Farmers Insurance. To find your local Farmers agent, call 800-FARMERS today.
Welcome back to the Coliseum. Let's check our game time weather for tonight. It's brought to you by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The admission is free and the boardwalk is open this weekend. 59 degrees, slight wind. And as always, it will cool off as the night goes on, but a pretty nice night after a pretty nice day in the Bay Area.
Maybe the rain after yesterday and a nice night last night and tonight, maybe it's finished for the spring and the summer, and we'll have the typical California weather. Because remember, it never rains in California.
Yeah, exactly. But you just told me the forecast for Anaheim this weekend is not great.
Well, Friday, they're talking a little rain, and Seattle could rain every day, but it doesn't matter there because they can close the roof, or at least the canopy.
Dallas Braden just about set to go. The A's will try to get their first win here in 2010 after last night's a disappointing 5-3 loss to the Seattle Mariners. Disappointing because going into the season, the strength of the A's, or at least what we think will be the strength,
Hey, guess who's on the mound?
did not come through.
Stockton, California.
That can only be one Dallas Braden. Here's the lineup that Braden will face. It'll be Suzuki, Figgins, Gutierrez, Bradley, Lopez, Kochman, Burns, Moore, and Wilson. So a few changes in the Seattle Mariners lineup for tonight. The A's will line up defensively with Buck in left, Davis in center, Sweeney in right, Guzman off at third, Pennington at short, Ellis at second, partner at first. Kurt Suzuki will catch 26-year-old left-hander from Stockton, Dallas Braden.
Well, that says it all. Stockton, California, the native. Dallas Braden, who still lives in Stockton. Area code 209, sleeps in an own bed, and he commutes to the yard every day that the A's are in town. So Dallas Braden, his first start of this 2010 season. 22 starts last year before his season was cut short. The last 2 months not able to pitch, but he worked hard this spring. The biggest concern, and I know there was some concerns from people that because he might be favoring his left foot might affect his mechanics and his left arm, but it was not. He had a good spring, pitched well, and as you mentioned, whenever he has in the stomach the ability to pitch without worrying about anything, he's a good pitcher, and we have seen that the time that he has been on the mound.
Ichiro steps in, followed by Figgins and Gutierrez here in the first. First pitch of the ball game is a strike. So 7:08 first pitch from the Coliseum. Ichiro last night 1 for 4. He scored a run, he walked, and he stole a base.
Well, the best way to avoid stolen bases by Ichiro and Figgins is to keep them off the bases.
Slice to left. Travis Buck goes into a dive, and he did not get it. Good effort by Buck, but Ichiro is aboard with a leadoff single.
From a slow curve with 2 strikes, and Ichiro has such great bat control. Just flares this one out to left field. Kind of hung on the inside part of the plate. Travis Buck playing shallow, but unlike last night when Rajay Davis caught a ball a foot in front of him, it was called an out. But this one, Travis was not able to come up with it. But look at Ichiro keeping the bat back, and again, the hanging curveball in the inner part of the plate ends up as a base hit.
Here's Figgins, who takes a strike on the inside corner. We mentioned it in our open. Dallas Braden, in his 22 starts last year, did not allow a stolen base. Ichiro with that hit, now a 22-game hit streak against the Athletics. So it's going to be fun to watch Braden trying to hold down the top 2 guys in this order when it comes to running.
Typically, if a left-hander is on the mound and has a good move, everybody thinks it's a balk move. In the case of Dallas Braden, he just varies his delivery. Hardly stays the same. There's 2 throws to first, but 2 different throwovers, 2 different setups. Well, the key is just not have the attempts. You can see the lack of attempts against him.
Ichiro not going, and a changeup on the outside corner, 0-2. Bob Davidson is behind home plate tonight. Alfonso Marquez at first, Mike Malinsky at second, and the crew chief Tim Cheetah is at third.
A lot of times when a pitcher has a great move, if the runner is on the move, it will be on a hit and run, not so much a stolen base attempt. That time he had Ichiro going back to first as he threw to the plate.
I think sometimes it's just as effective having 3 or 4 moves as opposed to just one really good one. And there it is, and they got it. Don Wakamatsu's going to come out and argue, but Dallas Braden picks up Ichiro Suzuki.
And I don't think it's an argument so much of being a balk move. It's probably Ichiro didn't think he was tagged or got back quickly enough. But here's the quick move. Step off and then a fire back to first base. And Derek Barton with a quick tag. See if he gets his right hand as Ichiro goes back in. I think he's saying he got him up on the wrist or the forearm. But a call out at first. And the key there, he froze. He froze Ichiro with the move. He did not start back until Dallas had thrown to first. That's how you take care of the stolen base attempts.
So I guess you could say round 1 goes to Dallas Braden.
Well, that's back-to-back games in which Ichiro was thrown out at third last night, picked off at first tonight, and he's complained to the umpires thinking he was safe, and he might have been in both cases.
Change up, swing and a miss. A weak swing by Figgins.
Let's check out our keys of the game brought to you by Toyota. Of course, Dallas Braden toes the rubber. That in itself is a positive as far as the base runners for the Mariners. And respect game 2. And boy, that's a big one from last night. And Lee's on the DL, so the A's get to Snell. That is Ian Snell, who'll be towing the rubber for the Mariners tonight. Cliff Lee was scheduled to be the number 2 starter.
Change up, strike called. A good omen for Braden in this first inning. It looks like Bob Davidson's giving him the outside corner strike, and you see Braden likes to throw that changeup out there to right-handed hitters. And boy, that could make a huge difference for Dallas Braden.
Absolutely. Franklin Gutierrez, and I thought it was interesting, reading the reports from last night's game, he was scheduled to be the third-place hitter, and not Casey Kochman. Evidently a conversation between Wakamatsu and Kochman, and they decided to put Casey in that third spot, and he only drove in 4 runs of the 5.
Yeah, and I had read somewhere where late in spring training, Wakamatsu said, you know, I may try Kochman hitting third against right-handed pitching, Gutierrez hitting third against left-handed pitching. You know, that's what he had done in the first 2 games of the series. A few other changes. No Ken Griffey tonight. Eric Burns is in left field. Milton Bradley, the designated hitter. Bradley in the on-deck circle. 2-2 to Gutierrez, just underway from the Coliseum. And now full count.
Dallas, after they got to 2-2, started talking to himself, and a lot of times you'll see him yell into his glove, scream a little bit, but you can actually read his lips saying, "Let's go."
And he missed high, and it's a walk. A walk and a strikeout in the first inning for Dallas Braden.
Batting in the 4th position.
Braden pitched once, started once against the Seattle Mariners last year and got a win. That was on the 26th of May right here in Oakland. It's his 4th career start against Seattle. That is the only win he has had against them. What a good performance. 7 innings, 3 earned runs. Here's the switch hitting Bradley, and he swings and misses. That was not a changeup. It was a fastball, but pretty good sink on that. Down and away to Milton Bradley. And see, that is a different move again from Braden.
So
he's not trying to pick him off with that move, but it's just something different.
Well, in this case, you're trying to keep him close. If you can keep him from taking an extra step or 2, that might keep him from scoring on an extra base hit. Gutierrez runs very well.
Line foul toward the A's bullpen. Thanks, Tim.
Was he just trying to get out of the way and didn't make the call? Or there were some non-calls made last night's game.
I tried to clear that up with a few of the A's today, exactly what happened on that crazy play in the first inning.
Probably didn't like the explanations.
Well, not really, but it was swing and a miss. So a couple of strikeouts for Dallas Braden. He keeps the Mariners off the board in the top of the first. Bottom of the first coming up. No score. A's set to go against Ian Snell. A's come to bat, bottom of the first inning, no score. Let's take a quick look at the A's lineup for tonight. Rajai Davis in center, Derek Barton at first, Ryan Sweeney in right. Then it's Kevin Kuzminoff, Kurt Suzuki, Eric Chavez, Mark Ellis, Travis Buck, and Cliff Bennington. Defensively, the Mariners, Burns, Gutierrez, Suzuki in the outfield, Lopez, Wilson, Figgins, Kochman on the infield. Adam Moore is the catcher tonight, and it's the right-hander Ian Snell.
You know, from the Pirates prior to the trading deadline, along with Jack Wilson, the Mariners shortstop, made a couple of starts against the A's. Of his 12 he made for the Mariners last year, and he won both starts against the Athletics.
Rajai Davis on the first pitch, skies one down the left field line. Burns has it. So one pitch, one out. Davis is retired.
Same pitch that Rajai swung last night and drove in a run with the base hit to left field.
First baseman, number 10, Derek Barton.
So here's Derek Barton. Barton 0 for 1 last night with 3 walks. He was the base runner in that crazy play that we talked about a little bit about. I asked Todd Steverson, A's first base coach. I figured he was the closest one to all the action, right? For the most part. I said, what the heck happened? He said that the second base umpire, Alfonso Marquez, made 2 out calls. He called Barton out, and he called Sweeney out, which I thought was pretty darn impressive.
Considering Bob Davidson wasn't looking at first base, right?
He picked up his partner a little bit, but that's what ended up happening on that play. Marquez called Barton out, and he called Sweeney out, even though he's the second base umpire, but he called both runners out. And he called Barton out on the tag.
Yeah, that's what I asked Bob Guerin about that after the game, and said, what did he say? He said he tagged him. I said, yeah, he did, but no ball and glove.
Yeah.
And it's the amazing thing about it, they were looking right at Sean Figgins. Bob Davidson as well as Marquez were looking right at Figgins with his hand up in the air and the ball in his hand, tagging him with the glove, which was empty.
Yeah. Todd Steverson said, I was not happy. Bob Guerin came out there and argued. Todd had the best look at it, but this is the play we're talking about. The second base umpire ends up calling both runners out.
Well, I asked.
He's going to come into the picture here. There, see? One out. He ends up making the call on both of them. The first base umpire, Bob Davidson, did not make a call on anybody.
And Derek Martin said, I knew I was tagged, but I didn't know or couldn't tell that the ball wasn't in the glove.
And
so
there's no way he would know.
Yeah, and there was no call, so he just assumed that since he was tagged, he was out. So it wasn't abandoning the play, he was already called out.
And it was such a bizarre play. I felt like we should try to clear it up as best as possible and how the call was actually made. Sweeney, a shot knocked down by Lopez, but he's not going to be able to make a play. Should be a base hit for Sweeney. We'll wait on the official call.
A very hard hit ball, and you're that close. And Lopez not able to come up with it, and it is a base hit, rightfully so. And on the game that Snell pitched against the A's on August the 24th, it took the 5th inning before the 8th. What? E5. Oh, my goodness.
What's the name?
Well, I'm going to leave it as a hit, so maybe the official score will wait till a clean hit, as they say, in case Snell is on his way to a no-hitter. You don't want to give a hit unless it's a clean hit, so hopefully that will be changed. Hit a ball that hard, and the guy just barely has a chance to put his glove down.
Scoreboard still says hit, but now it's up there. It says error, third base.
And even the fans in the stands are booing because they know it should have been base hit.
So Kuzminov is the hitter. Pops it up, and it's going to reach the seats. Tough night last night for Kevin Kuzminov. He went 0 for 4, hit into a couple double plays, and of course made the costly error in the 9th inning.
He just wanted to get everything out of the way in the first game. That's all.
I agree.
You know, with a whole bunch of season left, just get everything out of the way.
And did that hit him? Yes, it did. Looks like Kuzminov's going to be okay.
Well, he just kept running up and in and able to turn away from it, but he's able to at least let Bob Davidson see that he got hit.
Suzuki.
So Kurt Suzuki with a chance to give the A's their first lead in a ball game here in 2010. 88 runs batted in last year for Suzuki. So Ian Snell, 28 years old. Had a couple good years with the Pirates. Started off last year and he spent some time in the minor leagues. He struggled so bad. He pitched better when he came over to Seattle.
A lot of times you see a pitcher, and Snell just did it, where comes up, does not look at second base. You see the starts for the Pirates as well as the 12 for the Mariners. Snell came up, he looked straight into the plate, and that's when base runner can get a jump off second base. This time he looks back, then we look the second time. No, just one time.
Adam Moore, the catcher, doesn't see it. And now he does, and he made the catch. He looked up, stood at home plate, and really did not see it for 2 or 3 seconds, but he ended up making a very nice play when he did track it down. The A's strand a pair. We head to the second. No score. was the biggest difference between the pitches he threw percentage-wise. Not surprising, the fastball the most, as always. So Bloomberg Sports is the leader in data analysis. It has developed an analytical product being used by the clubs. There's also a product for fans. Improve your fantasy player. Track your favorite players and teams. Go to BloombergSports.com for details. And that graphic that we showed you about what Dallas Braden throws comes from Bloomberg Sports. Interesting stuff.
Number 13, Casey Kochman.
Well, the right-handed hitters just saw a ground ball hit to the left side of Kevin Kuzminoff, which after last night he probably was hoping a ball would be hit to him very quickly, and he was obliged by Lopez. But when you have a left-handed pitcher and right-handed hitters, off-speed pitches, hitters have a tendency to roll over and hit the ball to the left side. So that's why you need to have a solid defense on the left side to handle those ground balls, and Kuz handled it nicely with Lopez. Pennington's very strong arm, good range at short, so the A's are covered on the left side.
The hero last night, Casey Kochman, with his 4 RBI performance. A single, a double, and a sacrifice fly. Dropped down to the 6th spot in the order. And now 3-1. So basically what you're saying is be ready on the left side of the diamond when Dallas Braden is pitching. This time bounce to the right side. Mark Ellis handles a little in between two arms.
When you look at the lineup, of course, Ichiro left-handed, Kochman left-handed, but Don Wakamatsu getting his catcher more in the game, as well as today's left fielder. Coming to the plate now, Eric Burns. Bench ran last night, but his first game starting, first at bat. That lineup card is Ty Van Berkelio. Whenever he took over as a bench coach for Don Wakamatsu, he felt like he had to do exactly what Wakamatsu did in the calligraphy.
He did good.
He did very well, and the only problem, as Ty found out, being left-handed, he has to start from the bottom and go up.
So it's color-coded as well.
Yeah, he starts here and goes this way instead of there and this way. But that's the difference, I guess, being left-handed and right-handed.
Yeah,
you're right. He said, I didn't want to smear everything by starting at the top and working down. But he does a very good job.
So it looked like if you bat left-handed, you're red. If you're a switch hitter, you're blue. If you're a right-handed hitter, you're black. So you got to have one of those boxes of magic markers that has multiple colors in it if you're going to fill out a Mariners lineup card.
Or one of those pens that you spin around with all the different colors and just push down.
That's what you use, right?
No. But I think with calligraphy, you have to have a special pen, don't you? You don't.
Yeah. Writing like that is not coming from a normal pen. Burns pops it up, and it's going to reach the seat. Eric Burns pinch ran in last night's game. Did that for Griffey late in the game. So this is his first at-bat here in 2010. Burns still getting paid this year by the Arizona Diamondbacks. He signed that huge contract. 3 years, $30 million going into the 08 season. So this is the final year of that contract, and he's getting paid by them and, of course, the Mariners. Three and 2 now to Burns.
Gutierrez 0-2 in the first inning, ended up walking him, and now Burns 0-2. Trying to avoid a walk to Burns, trying to avoid getting him on base, trying to get the third out and get back to the dugout.
Burns spoils a good pitch there. 32 pitches for Braden in the ball game. This one's popped up, and it's going to be playable. Barton down the line. In fair territory, he's got it. And Dallas Braden has a nice 3-up, 3-down inning. Bottom of the second coming up. It'll be Chavez, Ellis, and Buck for the A's.
The Yankees and Red Sox are included along with all season ticket holder benefits. For more information, log on to oaklandathletics.com or call 510-638-GO-ACE.
Eric Chavez leading it off against Ian Snell at the first pitch outside corner strike.
Well, I guess I have to take back what I said. It took the A's to the fifth inning to get their first hit off Snell. I thought Ryan Sweeney had his in first inning, but
they haven't changed it yet.
Chuck said he got his glove on it and got the glove down and should have caught it. So maybe after a clean hit that maybe he'll go back and make an appropriate change.
1-2 to Chavez. Eric was 0 for 4 last night. Pops this one up, and it's going to be the shortstop Jack Wilson out. He makes the catch. So Mark Ellis will hit. Mark was 0 for 2 last night. He walked a couple of times and scored a run. Last night it was the 6th consecutive opening day start. Second base for Ellis.
We don't have to worry about left fielders, 11 different left fielders with Mark Ellis at second.
You're right. Line foul. Front row, the gentleman made a nice play. Used the glove. Used the hat, I should say, if you don't have a glove. Jack Wilson to his right and makes a nice play for the second out. Big hop.
Batting the eighth position, left fielder, number 6.
And the guy right next to him slowed it down a little bit, which is probably a good thing. The young man is unimpressed.
I'm eating my food. It's a baseball. I see that. I'd see the commissioner's name on every baseball.
He was not impressed at all. Travis Buck 0 for 3. He did walk and score a run last night. This one is hit fair right over the bag. Kochman has it to Snell, and it's a 3-up, 3-down inning. We're headed to the third inning from the Coliseum. No score. A's Mariners. Sportsnet California is brought to you by Cache Creek's See Red, Get Green promotions with hundreds of prizes every day until April 30th. Visit cachecreek.com for details. Adam Moore, the catcher, steps in. It was Rob Johnson doing the catching for Seattle last night. Tonight, Adam Moore. Big swing by Moore.
Now, Dallas Braden is proof of how you can be an excellent pitcher by just changing speeds. And that's the key to the game, to any pitcher. And if you throw nothing but hard stuff, then hitters can adapt to it and be able to time their swings. But when you change speeds, you keep them off balance, and you can take a hitter from back on the back foot to front. And a lot of times, when he's out on the front foot, cannot generate a lot of power. That's just exceptional pitching when they can do that.
Good pitch, inside corner, strike 3 call. Dallas Braden, of course, missed the final 2 months of last year with the foot injury, and he talked about the frustrations being on the disabled list.
Anytime you use your body to make ends meet, and that's the way you put food on your table, you know, it's a real tough realization to have to look yourself in the mirror and say, can't do this today. You just can't do it. And you have to try day in and day out to get over that and take baby steps to getting back there.
Well, we certainly wish him the best of luck. There's a rash on his foot that led to some nerve damage to the left foot. So that's the foot that's on the rubber.
Well, he struck out Moore on a fastball, inside corner, 86 miles per hour. Mm-hmm. So you might say, well, he doesn't throw very hard, but if he can paint the corners with an 86-mile-an-hour fastball, why throw 95 when you're throwing it down the middle?
Jack Wilson pops a foul. Fastball looks a little quicker after a changeup.
Oh, yeah. Well, they threw Wilson a first pitch changeup, had him way out in front as he was looking fastball. And that's where the changeup is excellent, the first pitch, if you have an aggressive hitter. He's sitting fastball. He sees it coming out of the hand like it is a fastball, but he pulls the string.
So, what, miles per hour between a fastball and a changeup? 8 miles per hour, 10?
Well, you like 10
right?
to 12, and Braden tonight is 14. Mm-hmm. The 86 he threw to Moore, and then the 72 to this hitter, Jack Wilson.
Swing and a miss. And I would say his changeup is slower than most changeups. Would you agree with that?
Well,
he really takes a lot off.
Right, but if you factor this in, that if you're looking for 10 to 12 mile differential, there's the changeup. He definitely threw an excellent changeup, had him way out in front on the front foot. But if you don't throw 96 and you only throw 86, you still have to drop it down.
That's true.
To get it to where he is. It's at basically about 14 miles per hour difference. And I think in some cases with Barry Zito, that maybe some troubles he's had, his fastball and the changeup differential is not where it should be.
The fastball came back to the changeup
Exactly.
a little bit. Travis Buck in foul territory. He's going to get there, and he makes the catch. So Dallas Braden has retired 7 in a row. Bottom of the third coming up.
OaklandAthletics.com or call 877-493-BALL.
Cliff Pennington tries to lay down a bunt. Rolls just foul. Pennington, Davis, and Barton here in the bottom of the third.
Not a good idea trying to get on the board to start something in the third inning. Just started to spin. You ideally want to get it on the grass, push it a little bit farther towards the third baseman. Speed of Cliff Pennington, something he should be attempting to do a lot of this year, and I think we'll see that, and that's try to bunt and get on base.
Snell has not walked anybody in the first 2 innings. He has 1 strikeout. And a quick 0-2 to Pennington. Jam, and pretty good pitch by Snell as Lopez handles it. 1 out here in the third. Remember last year when Snell pitched against the Athletics in the 2 starts he made. The first start he threw 116 pitches in 5 2/3 innings. The second start he threw 107 in 5 innings, and that was an issue. Remember the Mariners were talking about he's got pretty good stuff, but he just throws too many pitches. And we saw it in both the starts against the A's. So that is something that we'll see if he improves on this year.
So far he has.
Yeah.
He's thrown just the 27 through the first 2, 18 and 9. Which got I had in the first 2.
Rajai Davis swung at the first pitch in the first inning and hit a fly ball to Burns in left.
Davis hits one high down the left field line into the corner. Burns near the seats. He goes into the seats, and he did not catch it, but he came pretty darn close. Wow, what an effort by Burns. How close did he get?
Very close. That ball just kept taking. The wind took it, and he thought he had it. He thought he had it. Got that long glove, maybe just off the end of the webbing, and banked the side of the wall with his hand. I wish we had the highlight of Burnsy running into that left field wall at a dead full out all speed and hit the wall, bounced back towards the foul line, and everybody ran out to him and said, "What are you doing here? I'm okay." He popped up and he's ready to go.
Swing and a miss, and that's a strikeout for Snell, his second. A fan favorite indeed was Eric Burns.
Here we go. All out dive for Fenway. Big home run there into the Green Monster. And a cycle, 5 for 5. Hit for the cycle against the Giants. Grew up a Giants fan, drafted by the A's. How about that?
Burnsy is now 34 years old. It's his 9th year in the big leagues.
We were in Texas. It was raining. We were sitting in the dugout, just kind of watching the rain, waiting to see what was going to happen. Burnsy came flying in from the outfield, hit the top step, and did a hitter right in the dugout. And I said, "Oh my gosh!" And he popped up and he said, "Hey, I grew up falling out of trees, so this is nothing." He knew how to land, because when you fall out of trees, you better know how to land, or you're going to hurt yourself. And I think he could be a stunt man.
Doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, I think Burnsy could be a great stunt man, or be an actor and do his own stunts.
He was a great security guard one night here. Remember that?
Yeah.
When the guy ran out on the fan ran out on the field, and the fan was headed to the wall. He was going to jump up and over the wall and escape, but Burnsy dragged him down. It dragged him down off the wall. I don't know that was a popular move for Burnsy and Ken Maka, the manager's mind at the time. I think Maka was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, usually guys run away from people who run on the field, but
you never know.
Just helping the security guards. You know, he's younger than most of them probably, and start running around on the field trying to catch them. Can't do it. Oh, Ryan Sweeney trying to get a clean hit. Maybe I still got base hit on the.
You haven't changed it yet. You're a stubborn man. You're going to keep it. Sweeney in that first inning hit a hard ground ball to the left of Jose Lopez, the third baseman. He reached down, got a glove on it. It trickled away, and it was ruled an E5. So Derek Barton, after walking 3 times last night, gets another walk tonight here in the third inning. Two and 0 to Sweeney. Should get a pitch to hit. And now 3-0. Kuzmanov waits in the on-deck circle. No score here in the bottom of the third inning.
Kind of what happened to King Felix Hernandez last night in the 7th. Got the first 2 outs, and then tough throwing a strike. He ended up having to leave the game in the 7th.
Sweeney with an RBI last night. On the ground towards second. Figgins has it. And that will do it. A walk to Barton with 2 outs, but nothing else. We're headed to the 4th inning, and it's no score. It'll be Figgins, Gutierrez, and Bradley.
Sean Figgins.
Dallas Braden back to work, top of the fourth inning, and he will face Figgins, Gutierrez, and Bradley. No score. Just one hit in the game, and that was by Ichiro leading off the game. Dallas Braden has been very good so far. 4 strikeouts, 1 walk. He has thrown 45 pitches so far. Figgins struck out swinging in the first inning. So the big question, Ray, is how much will the Angels miss Sean Figgins?
Well, I thought they missed David Eckstein a lot whenever he left. It was after they had the Figgins and David Eckstein. It just seemed like they were the pests. They're always on the base.
I was surprised that they did not bring him back.
Well, for what he signed for, it wasn't like it was. I mean, sure, it's a good contract.
$9 million a year. I mean, that's not ridiculous for a player of Figgins' quality. Good pitch and another strikeout for Braden. That is number 5 on the night. Time now for our trivia question. It's brought to you by AT&T. Who was the last A's player to start in left field on opening day in consecutive seasons? Well,
Gutierrez.
last night we talked about it.
About 11 years ago, right?
11 consecutive opening days. The A's have had a different starting left fielder. So
Ben Grieve.
The first name on that list
I think
was Ben Grieve.
So
it would have to be Ben Grieve. 1998, I think, was the year that stretch started of 11 consecutive different left fielders. So it's got to be Ben Grieve.
Ricky started a lot.
Yes, he did.
Joe Rudy started a lot.
Gutierrez walked in the first inning. A shot, and that's fair. It's going to roll into the corner, and Gutierrez is going to have his first extra base hit of 2010, and it's a 1-out double here in the fourth.
Trying to get the fastball inside and did not get it far enough as Gutierrez turned on it 87 miles an hour and left it out a little bit over the plate. That's where he got Alan Moore striking him out, freezing him with a fastball inside. But so saying if the ball comes back a little bit, lefty natural movement is going to bring it back towards the middle of the plate. That's why you have to start it a little bit farther inside.
Milton Bradley struck out swinging in the first inning. Gutierrez, the runner at second. He had 16 steals last year. There's the good changeup, 74 miles an hour.
Well, that's aggressiveness of the hitters, first ball, fastball hitting. There's so many that like to sit on the fastball and swing if they get it. But again, if the changeup comes out of the hand looking like the fastball, that's when they will swing, flail at it, and miss it.
Pick off and a close play. Getting back is Gutierrez. So that's another move for Braden. This one to second base, but kind of gets to the top of his windup. He sits for a minute. Spins around.
Yeah, but Gutierrez's speed is trying to keep him a step closer to second base so he does not get a great jump. Not so much to try to steal, but in the event the ball's hitting the outfield.
Barton is going to have just enough room in foul territory. He makes the catch.
I wish Gutierrez would have tried to go to third. Derek Barton, as we have seen, has a very, very strong arm, and it's kind of tempted him to take off. Unlikely with one out, now make it two that he would try. With nobody out, he might. But Derek Barton has a strong arm and a very accurate arm. foul territory, the only place to go if you're a runner is back to the bag and maybe fake like you're going to run and draw a throw.
2 outs for Jose Lopez. Lopez led the Mariners in RBIs last year with 96. Crowded out to third in the second inning. Lopez also had 42 doubles last year. Likes to swing the bat. Change up on the inside corner, probably away from the target, but he got a strike, did Brayton.
Here's a situation you don't pay as much attention to the runner at second base, so the infielders do not have to leave their position. Key trying to get the third out, hold the position as much as possible, even though the runner is going to get a bigger lead, but
they call the walk. Gutierrez will go to third.
What if he slipped? That's balking Bob Davidson, of course. He must have bent his knee or something to cause it, but I mean, I hope Bob's satisfied. He's got his one for the night.
Yeah, but how many are allowed? What's his allotment? So the balk puts Gutierrez at third. It's a 2-1 count to Lopez. Casey Kochman, a left-handed hitter, in the on-deck circle. Good swing there by Lopez. So Braden challenged him with a fastball. Did he go? And the runner's coming home as the ball scoots past Suzuki, and he's going to score. So Gutierrez comes across. Lopez was able to check his swing on that ball in the dirt. So the Mariners get a run.
Now the ball hugs the ground, and Kurt Suzuki put the glove down, came up, and the ball stayed down. And that's unfortunately what happens. That's why you try to bury your catcher's mitt into the ground in case the ball does hug the ground. That one did, and it got through. So the balk ends up being costly, very costly, especially with a strikeout.
So Lopez strikes out, but a run for the Mariners. Bottom of the fourth coming up, 1-0 Seattle. with a 1-0 lead as they get the unearned run. So Kevin Kuzminoff will step in and then step out. Kuzminoff, Suzuki, and Chavez, 4, 5, and 6 for the A's. Snell a first pitch curveball, and Kuzminoff dribbles it foul. Kuzminoff was hit by a pitch in the first inning. The A's had 2 on and 2 out in the first, but could not score. And they are still looking for their first hit. He's had 5 hits last night, all singles. They did receive 7 walks. It's a swing, says Alfonso Marquez, 1-2.
That was a swing. Carried the bat too far forward.
Off the end of the bat, Lopez flips to first, and that's 1 out. All right, let's answer our trivia question, which is brought to you by AT&T. Who was the last A's player to start in left field on opening day in consecutive seasons? It was indeed Ben Green, 1999 and 2000. But since then, we've seen an array of left fielders.
And it kept showing Ricky. I thought maybe it'd go back that far. But Ben was the last. He had some good years with the A's. Yeah. Rookie of the year.
We're told Ricky was the starting left fielder in 1998.
And Ben pushed him out of town?
No. I don't think so. Down around the knees, a strike to Kurt Suzuki. Twins and the Angels are underway down in Anaheim in Minnesota with a 4-0 lead in the bottom of the third. Drive to left. Burns back. It is gone. A's are on the board. Suzuki homer.
Probably the first of about 20 for Kurt Suzuki this year. He'll do it on a cool night, off-speed pitch. And one of those you could say was no doubt it was gone.
Pitch that was down in the strike zone, but we've seen Kurt, a good low ball hitter.
Yep.
You usually say that about left-handed hitters. Pitch right down around the knees.
Probably a slider. Snell likes to throw the sliders a lot to right-handers.
Shot, base hit center field. Look out, Ian Snell.
Now there's a clean couple of hits there. Kurt Suzuki, his first home run of the season, first hit of the season, and a hanging breaking ball. Maybe more of a curve ball, but Zook, very strong, stayed on it and crushed it to left center. Oh, that's something great. A shot like that, pitcher doesn't even look. He just asks for a new baseball. Eric Chavez backed him with a hard shot back up the middle.
And now Mark Ellis will try to keep it going. First hit of the year for Chavez. Ellis, a bunt. Lopez on the bare hand. He'll throw, not in time. Mark Ellis has his first hit in 2010, and it's a bunt single. Get that first one out of the way.
Absolutely, and there's nothing wrong with it because the guys have speed. There is a technique. Try to drag the ball, gets it past the pitcher. Actually bunted a little bit hard, but it worked out nicely because it did get past Snell. It took Lopez a barehanded shot, but the speed of Mark Ellis able to beat it out. So a home run, and then solid base hit up the middle, and Mark Ellis with his first hit.
Rick Adair, the pitching coach, will come out.
Watch a little bit of the Tampa Bay Rays, who opened today, and they defeated the Baltimore Orioles, but Evan Longoria hit a home run. The next batter, Carlos Pena, with the shift, he bunted a ball down the third baseline following the home run. So smart baseball there by Carlos Pena, and same tonight by Mark Ellis. It's a runner in scoring position, and obviously was not for a sacrifice. It was for a base hit.
Meeting is over at the mound. So Travis Buck looking for a base hit. Chavez at second, Ellis at first. Neither the shortstop or the second baseman really making much of an effort to hold on here. Chavez. He's not going anywhere. Inside to Buck. Mariners play Travis Buck pretty much straight away. Gutierrez just a couple steps toward left center, but not a lot.
I'm sure he's got some folks up in the great Northwest in the Seattle area watching the games tonight. Travis Buck, back-to-back games in the lineup.
A couple of runners on, a 2-0 count. Good spot for Travis Buck. He takes a good rip and fouls it back. So it started with Kevin Kuzminoff grounding out to third, and then the Suzuki homer. Chavez a line drive to center field for a hit, and Mark Ellis a bunt hit. Chavez dances off a little bit, and now 3-1. Switch hitting Cliff Pennington is in the on-deck circle.
If Snell stays away with that running fastball, Travis Buck has a lot of power to the opposite field. They're actually playing him like a right-handed pull hitter.
Outside corner strike.
It's a perfect pitch just to lay it into left field. Eric Bird's playing left, but he's really playing him over towards the line over here. So a little bit of a defensive setup. I guess Travis Buck expecting him to hit that way. Travis evidently thought it ran too far outside, but Bob Davis set up on the inside right shoulder of the catcher. That angle, as we have talked about so much.
Runners do not go. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Big strikeout for Snell, his third K in the game.
Challenge with a fastball. This one a little bit more of the plate, but down.
Shortstop.
Maybe a little bit extra on the fastball.
Pennington.
Well, 3-1. He made two pretty good pitches, location-wise.
3-1 was a little better to hit, especially to hit to left field.
So it's up to Pennington, and he swings and misses. See that pitch at 87, but pretty good movement down. Blocked by Adam Moore.
Seeing more and more catchers using the outside signals. Runner at second base. Watching him use not typical fingers. He goes now, just taps different parts. So one of those is a sign. As he goes to the various corners of his chest protector. And really, if you think about it, instead of using fingers, which runner at second base might be able to figure out which sequence you're using. Start tapping the various parts of shin guard and chest protector, mask. You'd have an indicator So you use the second or third time, but you're not using the fingers where you can actually see what the signs might be. As long as the pitcher knows, you're okay.
Yep. Fastball up around the letters, 2-2. So now a full count. That'll help the A's. Runners will be off on the pitch with 2 outs.
So staying with the fastball is to Pennington, and both of them up on the zone.
Runners go upstairs, ball 4. So the A's trying to take the lead. It's the second walk by Snell. And here's Rajay Davis, top of the order.
Just what you were talking about, the pitch count. And Snell to 67, but all of a sudden in this inning, got a little help. Of course, Markellis first pitch bunting for a base hit. 3-2 to Buck, 3-2 to Pennington.
Davis 0 for 2, a fly ball out and a strikeout, and there's the high fastball and a good swing by Davis. 93 miles an hour from Snell.
Excellent numbers for Rajay with the bases loaded.
Over the mound and grabbed nicely by Snell. He timed his leap and he made the play. A run for the A's on Kurt Suzuki's home run, first of the year. So we're all tied at 1 after 4. With a home run in the bottom of the 4th to tie up the ball game. Kochman, Burns, and Moore against Dallas Braden. Good so far for Braden. 6 strikeouts. He's walked just 1. That was pitch number 61. Kochman goes after a pitch up and out of the strike zone, fouls back. 0-2. Kochman with a ground ball to second base in the 2nd inning. Upstairs to the new Mariners first baseman. Casey Kochman. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. So that is 7 strikeouts for Dallas Braden. We asked Braden's catcher, Kurt Suzuki, about the mentality of Dallas Braden.
He's a bulldog. He's another guy, a command guy, kind of like Justin, who goes out there with, quite average stuff, to tell you the truth. But his mentality and his competitiveness is what separates him from other players with a certain type of stuff.
Well, Kurt Suzuki would know better than anybody else.
But, I think it looked like he was trying to think of the right way to say it. But by saying average, it's not overpowering stuff. But it's excellent control. So I guess, in a sense, you might say it's average. But if I'm hearing average, I'm saying, well, he's just kind of so-so pitcher. But it's just the way he is able to use his 86, 87 mile an hour fastball, his changeup, his cutter, curveball, variety of pitches. And similar to Justin Duxer, but mainly the fact they're not overpowering with the pitches.
Swing and a miss. 8 strikeouts for Dallas Braden. So he makes quick work of Eric Burns. And that is a career high for strikeouts in a game. And it's only the 5th inning. This is a good changeup.
Changeup. Just keeps throwing it. And you can't tell me a hitter's standing at the plate thinking he's just going to keep throwing the changeup. But Dallas Braden can, because it looks like a fastball when it comes out of his hand.
Well, I think what makes a big difference for Dallas Braden, he has a very good understanding of how to pitch. In and out, up and down. He just keeps mowing people down. 5 in a row retired. A 3 up, 3 down inning in the 5th. 1-1 game. Bottom of the 5th coming up. Eat Fresh Ask Glenn and Ray, where you log on to csncalifornia.com to post your question. Let's listen to tonight's question.
Hi, I'm Mitchell from Daly City, and I'd like to ask Ray, what makes a great teammate and why?
A good, simple, to-the-point question, right?
What makes a good teammate? Wow. Well, first of all, you're a good player.
That helps.
You wouldn't be the
All
big
right,
leagues.
let's do this. Let's say, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're a 300 hitter or a 200 hitter. Clubhouse, that type of thing.
Yeah, the personality. There's no doubt. You want someone who's got a good personality, kind of a leadership. Kurt Suzuki, hard worker. I mean, that in itself makes him a good teammate because his players around him know that he works hard at what he does. And, consummate right there, Jim Catfish Hunter. just went out and pitched and did his job. But, you know, I think a guy like Mike Sweeney, who we saw for a year when he's with the A's and now with the Mariners for his second consecutive year. I mean, this is a guy who's always upbeat, positive all the time, and I think that's what you want, kind of the middle of the road, even keel, if you will. No ups and downs, just kind of middle. And, you know, when Mike comes to the clubhouse, it lights up. Yeah. And that's kind of the personality part of the player you like to see.
But I would imagine there's a lot of different ways you can be a good teammate.
Right. Well, and you know, unfortunately, it's a statistical game. You know, the ultimate goal is to win.
Yeah.
But when it becomes statistical, then you maybe are a little bit upset if you don't put up the numbers. And, you know, you can see that with a guy sometimes when your club loses, yet he's happy because he got some hits, or vice versa. So, but it's just kind of staying the same all the time.
Yeah, well, you're also with these guys so much every day.
Yeah.
Three and two to Ryan Sweeney. One hit to left, hit pretty well into the corner, but Burns foul territory, makes the catch, and he held on as he crashes into the wall. Nice play by Eric Burns as he was able to gain control of the ball in the glove right as he hit the wall.
And he will not let a simple wall stop him. It stopped him, but it did not dislodge the baseball from his glove. Caught it in the pocket, rolled right up in the webbing, and kind of slowed down a bit, but crunch. Best thing happened for Eric Burns and aggressive outfielders, added walls.
Boy. He wouldn't be out there if there wasn't. He wouldn't have made it 9 years today. But getting back to the teammate thing, Rat, I know my brother Dwayne, who was your teammate for 2 years, told me, he said, Ray was a great teammate. He said, because he took care of younger players. He said that was something that you took very seriously.
Because it happened to me.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of goes with a player as he's.
It should,
yeah,
right?
Absolutely. And Rocky Colavito did it for me. It's something that I learned from Rocky. Are you saying he's younger than me?
Well, I don't know if you took care of him. He may have needed it at the time.
No, he was
but you hope they appreciate it, too, the younger players. 2-2 to Kuzminov. Good swing there. He got a fastball to hit and fouled it straight back. But what happens if, and listen, I'm sure you have teammates that, quite frankly, you just don't like. You just stay away from them? I mean, yeah. You know what I mean? Listen, you can't like everybody.
Right. Hard to do, but, you know, it does happen.
Sure. Snell trying to have an easy inning here in the fifth after having to work hard in the fourth to get out of the bases loaded jam after the A's had scored 1 run. .85 is the pitch count for Snell. Curveball there, but Kuzminov stayed right with it. So good battle here. Kuzminov hit by a pitch in the first, grounded out to third in the fourth, so he's still looking for that first hit. And did he get it? Figgins behind the bag at second, throws, and Kochman makes the play. Side. Retired. 3 up, 3 down inning. 6th inning coming up. Tied at 1. Happy birthday, Sportsnet. Such a 1-year-old. Full baseball recaps. Nellie's Chase. Did the Warriors win tonight? If they did, Don Nelson becomes the all-time winningest coach in NBA history. But the question is, did they win? They played in Washington against the Wizards.
Are they any good?
Wizards are bad. But don't let that fool you tonight. And we were watching the NCAA Women's Championship game. Stanford Cardinal, a valiant effort, but unfortunately they lost tonight in that championship game to UConn. So a great season for Tara Vanderveer's Stanford Cardinal, but they come up a little short. Another strikeout for Dallas Braden, and you hate to say it, but he's making them look foolish.
Well, he's doing
not a lot of good swings right now.
And 3 pitches, too. It's not like he's getting 0-2 as he did a couple of times, and then so 3-2. It went after another changeup to Jack Wilson, and that's what you like. Have a hitter going back to the dugout talking to himself.
Boy, 9 strikeouts. He has struck out 4 out of the last 5 hitters, all swinging. As I look at my book, 8 of the 9 strikeouts have been swinging. You got Adam Moore looking with a fastball in the 3rd inning. Only Ichiro and Gutierrez have not struck out tonight. We're in the 6th pitching duel. Snell and Braden. Barton grabs it, playing in a couple steps, 2 outs.
Now the A's have teamed up with Wells Fargo to support our local schools. Bring your new school supply donation worth $5 or more to the Friday, April 16th game with the Orioles, and you'll get a 2-for-1 field level ticket voucher. The Wells Fargo and Oakland A's school supply drive at every Friday home game this season throughout August, teaming up to make a difference. 2-for-1 voucher, you like those? Let's bring the donations.
Figgins takes a strike. Easter break for most of the youngsters, so they can stay out late tonight. Stayed the full 9 innings. Base hit center field. That was a changeup, and it kind of hung up there. And sometimes a hitter sees the changeup better than others, and it looks like Figgins had a good look at that one.
Well, especially with the location up, and that's the key. Stayed up a little bit, maybe stayed back looking for it. And he might have gone up sitting on a changeup, which, if that's the case, they become very good hitters, and they get the pitch they're looking for. Now, here's the cat and mouse game.
Yep.
Base stealer and Figgins, and of course with 2 outs, he may be trying to go. See how many times Dallas throws over.
Braden picked off Ichiro in the 1st inning. 2 outs of a 1-1 game in the 6th. Yes, this is a time to run if you are Sean Figgins.
And that was a good pitch to throw to Gutierrez. It's a fastball. Throw it for strike, because a lot of times a hitter is going to take a pitch or two thinking the runner's going to be going. Sean Figgins will have the green light, go anytime he feels he can go. So in a sense, why mess around throwing a breaking ball, even a changeup, when you can throw a fastball if he's going to take it anyway?
Steal a strike.
Right, absolutely.
This will be pitch number 78 for Braden. Quick move, and Figgins is back safely. Figgins had a couple of stolen bases last night. Tapper right to the mound. Braden flips to first. Side retired. So 9 strikeouts for Dallas Braden through 6 innings, and we're tied at 1.
Catcher, number 8, Kurt Suzuki.
Well, the Coors Light Freeze Can is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. It's the world's most refreshing beer. Good ball game tonight, 1-1. Bottom of the 6th, and Kurt Suzuki leading it off. Suzuki homered in the 4th. Suzuki, Chavez, Ellis. Ian Snell has walked 2, struck out 3, and has given up 3 hits.
Bullpen activity after that 89th pitch that he's thrown. Good fastball to the outside corner to Suzuki. Bird hit a hanging curveball. His last at bat for a home run.
Sean Kelly. Right center. Struck well. Ichiro back, and he's going to get there. Makes the catch. I think that ball was hit pretty well.
It was hit well, but Ichiro got a great jump on the ball. Fastball, trying to sneak it by, but
number 3,
Kurt
Eric Chavez.
hit the ball exactly where it was pitched. Also has a tendency to slice back to the right fielder as he goes after.
1 out for Chavez, who had a base hit in the 4th. A line drive right up the middle, right past Snell. Popped out to the shortstop in the 2nd inning. So Eric Chavez, the full-time designated hitter for the A's. A's hoping that by letting him DH, get him in the lineup almost every day, as opposed to when he was playing the field, or the original plan were maybe 3 times a week.
We shouldn't have to worry about any injuries because of throwing or even fielding or anything. Just the fact he's going to be swinging the bat.
Running fastball, and Chavez strikes out. 3rd strikeout for Snell. Make it 4th strikeout.
Another bit up, kind of a waste pitch with the ball running away from Shelby. It's a pitch, though. We have seen him hit hard to left field and sometimes out for a home run.
Mark Ellis pops it up near the dugout, and it's going to hit off the top of the dugout. Twins leading the Angels 5-1, bottom of the 5th inning. Texas Rangers did not play today. Rangers will play tomorrow, host Toronto. Quick 0-2 to Ellis. Mark does not look completely happy with the call of Bob Davidson. Down the right field line and foul.
Amazing how in the early part of the season, talk about spring training where pitchers are ahead of the hitters, and in a sense it's kind of the same once the regular season begins. You start looking at numbers and say, oh, what's going to happen? And all of a sudden you look at July, August, September and see all the numbers starting to pump up and say, you don't even remember in April and May when maybe a guy's a little bit slow or some of the fastballs are not quite getting around on. Very patient Jim Scala, the A's hitting coach. Excellent at his craft. And it's very hard with these hitters. And he knows that they will come around.
Oh, what a play by Kochman. He races to the bag and he beats a sliding Ellis. Sensational play by Casey Kochman to take extra bases away from Ellis. 1-1 after 6. home of the Athletics, Comcast Sportsnet, California. And what we're seeing tonight is an outstanding pitching performance from Dallas Braden. He has 9 strikeouts in 6 innings. He's walked just 1.
22nd batter. That was his 17th first pitch strike.
And this is pitch number 80 all told. Popped foul.
We talked about Dallas Braden's changeup tonight, or changeup in general. 8 of the 9 strikeouts, a result of the changeup. Only the fastball inside that he froze more earlier in the game. The only non-changeup for a strikeout.
He has already set a career high for strikeouts in a ball game. Milton Bradley, a strikeout and a foul out. And he swings and misses. And that is strikeout number 10 for Braden. Swinging at a changeup. Yep. What a surprise.
Now the changeup, this one off the plate, out of the strike zone. And
number 4,
Milton Bradley, a pop up to first base, foul, and then a couple of strikeouts on changeups.
Here's Jose Lopez. It's a light night around Major League Baseball, schedule-wise. Just 3 games besides this one in the American League, and just 3 games in the National League. Ray mentioned the Rays beating the Orioles 4-3. Rays scored 2 in the ninth. Carl Crawford, the game-winning hit. Center field, the base hit for Jose Lopez. Hit number 4 for Seattle.
And also a changeup. And of course, Figgins got a hit this last inning on a changeup. And
now batting, number 13.
It seems that when Dallas Braden, that one pretty good pitch from Braden, excellent hitting by Lopez to go down and get it. But with a changeup, it's, if you don't throw it near the strike zone, you have a better chance of getting a swing and miss because of the delivery and the deception.
Casey Kochman 0 for 2. In their first round. Yankees beat the Red Sox tonight 6-4. So that series is tied at a game apiece. Pretty good play by Casey Kochman to end the bottom of the 6th.
Ellis inside out, and you're right, took extra bases away from Ellie. As Kochman, a left-handed first baseman, had to reach back across his body with the glove on his right hand to make a very nice fielding play.
Slowly hit left side. Kuzminov on the run in time to get Kochman. It does get Lopez into scoring position with 2 outs. And the hitter will be Eric Burns.
Now batting, number 1.
Nice play by Kuzminov. Ball came up but stayed with it. Put the ball in the pocket and in the webbing, and watch the ball into your glove. You have a better chance to make the catch, make the play, and of course continue with the throw.
Burns popped to first, struck out swinging. Takes a fastball inside.
I don't know if Eric Burns is going to get much to hit in this at bat.
Adam Moore is in the on-deck circle. Fastball inside again.
And I say that simply because Eric Burns' 9th year in the big leagues, he knows these situations, and as it gets Adam Moore, but he does not have the same amount of time at the big leagues. And you kind of take a chance who you're going to try to pitch to and try to get the 3rd out of the inning.
Very high, shallow left toward the line. And Dallas Braden is going to get out of the inning. Stranded runner in scoring position. 7th inning stretch coming up. We're tied at 1. Dallas Braden called for a balk. A balk and Bob Davidson. No surprise there. That is the only run the Mariners scored right there, and scored on a wild pitch slash pass ball. I'm not sure exactly what it was. Kurt Suzuki got the A's on the board with his first home run of the year. But the story is Dallas Braden. He has 10 strikeouts in 7 innings. He has been terrific, giving up just 4 hits to the Seattle Mariners. 1-4-1 for Seattle, 1-3-0 for the Athletics. That is our McDonald's game summary. So tied at 1, headed to the bottom of the 7th, and we got a new pitcher for the Mariners. Sean Kelly. So Ian Snell gone after 6 innings. He was very good. Well, it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. And the change is Kelly in, Snell out. So Snell goes 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. And now Sean Kelly.
Another one of the power arms out of the bullpen of the Mariners.
Ichiro on the run. Fair territory makes the catch. 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Well, we saw Sean Kelly last year, and we were
now batting,
impressed with him. He's got a pretty good arm.
Number 2, Claire Pennington.
25 years old.
I think Dallas Braden getting the handshake says Brad Ziegler getting up once again the bullpen with 1 out, which would indicate nice joy Dallas. Coco Crisp. And Dallas not too happy because probably got him at 91 pitches. Probably feels like he could go out. And he could probably. Just the way he is pitching and keeping the hitters off balance.
Well, that means it's time to get a run. Or 2. Pennington walked in the 4th. Good swing there. Fouls it straight back.
Sean Kelly last year in early September got a blown save as he gave up a grand slam to Scott Harris. Remember him? Scott Harris, too. Yeah. Traded back to the Padres, but blown save, a grand slam, giving the A's a 5-2 lead over the Mariners and a win. Other than that, he didn't give up much. Matter of fact, did not give up another run in any of his appearances.
Good take there by Pennington. It's a full count. Four hits, a run, 1 walk, in a career high 10 strikeouts for Dallas Braden. Fastball right in the inside corner. Pennington was able to get a piece, foul it back. So another 3-2 Kelly to Pennington. And another foul ball. Sean Kelly, the pitcher, was the Mariners' 13th round selection in the 2007 draft. So he really was only in the minor leagues 2 years and did not pitch in a lot of games in the minor leagues. So he, even though he's 25, he made it quickly to the big leagues, and he walks Pennington, and it was a 3-2 off-speed pitch.
Guy throws 95 on his fastball, and they throw him a changeup trying to get him to chase, and he didn't. Good patience by Cliff Pennington, and with the speed of Pennington,
Number 11,
see if the A's try to manufacture a run with Rajay hitting.
So Pennington, after a couple of hits last night, a couple of walks tonight. Mariners bullpen is quiet. Ziegler is throwing in the A's bullpen. Pennington dives back this time. Torrey Hunter hit a 2-run homer for the Angels. Tighten that game up. Twins with a 5-3 lead now at the bottom of the 6th.
It's a throw over. And you saw Don Wakamatsu, former catcher, now the manager, of course, the Mariners making the call as Moore looks into the dugout.
Pennington, a little bit bigger lead. Not going. Davis, a bunt attempt, and he bunts it foul. Lopez about a step in on the grass at third. Ichiro playing pretty shallow in right field, but Eric Burns playing pretty deep. One and two now to Rajai Davis, who is 0 for 3.
He's got a big hole on the right side. Of course, anytime a first baseman holds the runner, creates the huge hole between first and second, with Figgins shedding close to second for a possible double play. So this is ideal hitting for Rajai with that hole and just trying to punch the ball to right field.
Good take there, 2 and 2.
What Rajai does during batting practice, he works on hitting in that direction, hitting the ball to right field, especially with these kind of situations coming up.
Well, it'd be hard to find a bigger hole. Lots of room on the right side for Davis. Not running, it's popped up on the infield. Figgins takes care of it for the second out. Rajai Davis is 0 for 4. Here's Barton.
Now batting, first baseman, number 10.
You realize in back-to-back games, the A's have had the same lineup first 2 games of the season. It's a long time to see a manager, depending on the pitcher. Happens to be 2 right-handers starting tonight. Lefties, righties pitching. You might see the changes in the lineup, but Bob Guerin going with the same one tonight as last night.
Derek Barton, a strikeout, a walk, and a ground out. So he's 0 for 3 on the season, but he has walked 4 times. Like to see a ball in the gap here. Pennington, very good speed. Ball got in on Barton just a little bit. Ichiro, shallow right center. He's got it, and that will do it. 8th inning coming up. Pitchers duel continues. It's a 1-1 game.
Their loyal fans, Ashby Lumber and All Weather Wood want to treat you
And you know what, you could be watching the A's take on the Giants, the Yankees, or Red Sox from the comfort of a private suite for as little as $900. All new this year, the A's are offering discount food packages that you can order in advance. These all-inclusive suite and food packages provide great value and are perfect for business or pleasure. You have to watch out for the wind. For more information, call 510-638-GO-A's.
Kuzmanov going to give away to Pennington. Barehand, he got it.
Wow. Show off the arm.
Kuzmanov veered off, let Pennington have it, and Pennington gunned it to first.
And a harder play for a shortstop because he's going to his right, has to barehand the ball and then unload a perfect strike to Derek Barton. What a great play. And once the ball is in the hand, the great arm by Cliff Pennington, and he shows it off.
Seen some good defense tonight on both sides. Jack Wilson, first pitch, easy out, 2 outs. Well, time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. And Brad Ziegler.
Now batting, number 51.
2 quick outs here at the top of the 8th inning. Ziegler pitched
Suzuki.
in last night's game. Gave up a couple of unearned runs. He walked a couple, had a strikeout. He threw 16 pitches. So Ziegler gets action in the first 2 games of this season. He'll be a workhorse this year, no doubt about it. Just a bit low to Ichiro. Ichiro 1 for 3, single leading off the game. Never say no. Breslow up.
Saw him today and he said, 1 for 1. 1 game, 1 appearance. Same for Brad Ziegler. And last night's game, tough. And he had to suffer the loss. 200 runs scored. Ninth inning. But tonight, Dallas Braden. He's a great start. 10 strikeouts in 7 innings. Just 91 pitches.
Ichiro is also fouled out to left and grounded to first. Takes a close pitch on 3-1. It's a walk.
Bob Garrett going to Craig Breslow to turn Figgins around a bat right-handed.
So Breslow's coming in.
No, either.
No, he's not. No, he's not. So Figgins will indeed swing around, hit from the right side when we come back. Breslow in, Ziegler out. Makes his return to the mound for the Athletics. We're psyched about that. He'll be opposed by Ryan Roland Smith, the left-hander for the Mariners. Coverage begins at 6:30 with A's pregame live. The home of A's baseball is Comcast Sportsnet, California. That is tomorrow night. Duscher and the lefty Smith. Craig Breslow comes in to face the switch-hitting Sean Figgins. So you get Figgins hitting right-handed, and also you may want to keep Ichiro a little bit closer, and Bob Guerin may feel you can do that with a left-hander, maybe a little bit better than Ziegler. Butt attempt popped up. Breslow with the basket catch, and just like that, side retired. Nothing for the Mariners. Bottom of the 8th coming up 1-1. Bottom of the 8th inning, Ryan Sweeney to lead it off. Sweeney, Kuzmanov, Suzuki. So the heart of the order for the Athletics. And they'll face a new pitcher. It's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and small experts. Mark Lowe, another hard-throwing right-hander. Lowe, 26 years old.
That's one thing, and we saw it last year and continue this year. The power pitchers out of the bullpen of the Mariners, and there's another power pitcher out of the A's bullpen, and Andrew Bailey. Last night pitched in a non-save situation. Tonight he'd like to come into the 9th with a lead.
96 miles an hour from Mark Lowe. Sweeney is 0 for 3, reached on an error in the first inning. Lowe was a workhorse last year for Seattle. He pitched in 75 games. Hard thrower, that one at 95 miles an hour. Mark Lowe.
Faced the A's 10 times last year, just gave up 2 runs. Won a solo home run by Derek Barton.
Three-two to Sweeney. Went with a breaking pitch. That's the first one he's thrown it.
And you see it more and more where even power pitchers go to maybe a second or third pitch. That was a breaking ball. It also throws a changeup. But with a power pitcher, you can almost challenge a guy. Take a chance, of course, walking But he happened to throw a strike with the off-speed pitch.
And he went with the breaking ball again, and he gets the strike call. A little bit of a high strike. Sweeney strikes out.
Well, it might have had the plate, but the question was the height. And we'll see from the side shot. As the crouch, it was just a little bit below the letters. I don't know that Bob Davidson has called too many above the waist tonight. That one he did at a crucial time.
Kuzminov, swing and a miss. So just like that, Lowe has thrown 3 sliders, and that was a pretty good one to Kuzminov. Well, I think as the year goes on, well, maybe starting last night, I think Kuzminov's going to see a lot of sliders from right-handed hitters. He's the power source in the middle of the lineup. He's a guy that if you keep throwing him fastballs, he will wear you out. Lopez ranging far to his left, spins around, throws high, and Kochman got the tag, but it was late. So the A's have the go-ahead run on first with 1 out.
Now Lopez was guarding the line against a possible extra base hit, and as a result had to range far to his left. 360, and he didn't have a good enough grip and saw that Kuz was heading down the line quickly, and there's the tag. And with Marquez kind of blinded by the runner, still saw they tagged him. What?
Kuzminov gets a base hit.
You got to be kidding me. I mean, I'm glad for Kuz, but let's go back to the first inning. The flying Sweeney. It's unbelievable.
Suzuki swings and misses. That one 96 and really downward bite to it from Lowe. The home run in the 4th for Kurt Suzuki. Down around the knees, strike 2 call. Each team with 4 hits. Bounce toward Figgins, takes a big hop. He'll flip to Wilson, and Wilson throws in the dirt. Kochman digs it out. Wilson upended at second base by Kuzminov, but the Mariners turn the double play.
MLB.tv today. See every A's game live or on demand on your computer. Visit OaklandAthletics.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. And that is a great source of Major League Baseball. You get the home telecast, the visitors telecast, you get the home radio, the visiting radio.
So we're set up for the road, right?
You can stay and tune exactly to where you want to be, wherever you are, on your computer.
Time for change. Think Speedy Oil Change and tune up your oil change. Tune up and small experts. Andrew Bailey comes on here in the ninth, a 1-1 game.
Similar situation as last night, except Brad Ziegler started the ninth inning. Bailey did come in, gave up the bloop hit, following the air to load the bases, and that was the game. So tonight, with no save on the line, this is a lot of times when you do get the closer to come in the game, but there's not a save situation. Trying to get the A's back in the dugout with still a tie score.
Bailey threw 16 pitches last night. The big curve drops low. Gutierrez, Bradley, and Lopez. 3, 4, and 5 in the Mariners lineup.
Think about last night and talking to Andrew today. He said his left knee was not bothering him last night. Everything was working very well, as the fastball is again tonight. 94 fastball.
Two to Gutierrez. He's walked, doubled, and scored, and grounded back to the pitcher. So 2 for 6 so far this year. Gutierrez lays off a pretty good breaking pitch. It's a full count. Junior ready just in case. Slowly hit. It's a fair ball. Kuzmanov on the run. Not in time.
Kuz could not make a better play. Slow hit ball, charged it perfectly. Kind of circle around to make sure he got a good throwing position. And a strong throw, but Gutierrez runs too well.
Milton Bradley.
So the go-ahead runner is aboard. Here's Milton Bradley. Bradley takes inside. The Mariners have stranded 4 runners in the game. The A's have stranded 7. Bradley 0 for 6 on the season. He drew a couple of walks last night. He has struck out 4 times. He had no chance on the high fastball from Bailey, 1-1. Right by him, 1-2. You see 92 miles an hour, which you're saying, well, that's decent, but there's a little late movement, a little extra.
Up in the zone, it's always tougher to go up the ladder and try to make contact. Ideally, a hitter wants to hit down on the ball, and a pitch that's around the letter is a little tough to do, especially with the 92-93 heater.
Popped up right field. So Bailey got in on the hands of Bradley. So Milton Bradley is 0 for 4. 1 out, and here is Jose Lopez.
Number 4, Jose Lopez.
Lopez is 1 for 3. He singled in the 7th inning. That hit was against Dallas Braden. That was Braden's last inning. 1 for 7 on the year. Breaking pitch down and away.
So Gutierrez and now Lopez laying off the cut fastball from Dallas Braden and maybe forced to throw it more in or closer to the strike zone. So far they're not chasing.
Well, last night the Mariners attempted 5 stolen bases. They were successful on 3 of them. Right center, Rajay Davis to his left. He gets there. 2 outs here in the top of the ninth for Casey Kochman.
Number 13, Casey Kochman.
No stolen base attempts tonight for the Mariners. Ichiro did get picked off. Teixeira on the left, Aardsma on the right. Kochman a couple of ground outs and a strikeout, and he lines one. Mark Ellis grabs it at the shoot top's side. Retired. A's looking for a hero. Bottom of the ninth. We're tied at 1.
A's Baseball is brought to you by Toyota. Say yes to amazing deals on your favorite Toyotas. See your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota. Yes. And by Xfinity, the next generation in home entertainment. Now available in the Bay Area and coming soon to the Central Valley.
Eric Chavez to lead it off. Bottom of the ninth inning. The A's and the Mariners are all tied at 1. We have a new pitcher. It's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. It's Kanakoy Teixeira. It was a Rule 5 pickup from the New York Yankees. Well, the Mariners took a chance on him this offseason. He went to spring training, and he was terrific in spring training. Rule 5, you got to keep the guy if you take him from another team, and he's got to stay on your roster the whole year. And Teixeira won a spot in that Mariners bullpen. So Kanakoy Teixeira, his major league debut right now. Drive to center, but playable. Gutierrez was playing deep, and he makes the catch. Vaz is out. Eric is 1 for 4.
Man, this really tells you a lot about Don Wakamatsu. Bottom of the ninth inning, bringing in a rookie, making his major league debut, and not afraid to put him in the situation. Pretty much, he is saying that managers try to get all the players in as quickly as possible to start a new season. They figured that Teixeira would be in the lineup tonight. Here he is in a tough situation.
Line drive, left field, and it's going to be down for a hit by Ellis. So there is the winning run. It's Mark Ellis. So Ellis is 2 for 4 tonight.
Well, when you're playing against the outfield wall, no doubles,
wow,
you're going to see line drives at times will drop in front of the outfielders. Of course, Chavez's ball was hit very hard. Gutierrez playing very deep. Same with Burns on Ellis' ball. And normal setup, that would have been caught.
It's a good look at Teixeira, 6'2", 190 pounds from Hawaii.
So that means we have 3 on the field tonight with Brandon Lee, right? Kurt Suzuki.
Little broken bat flare, fair down the left field line. Ellis racing to third, he will make it. Buck to second, he's in there. Second and third, 1 out. Not pretty, but effective.
Well, watching Mark Ellis, what a great job of turning the bag at second base. You can go back to the injury, the calf injury he had last year, but man, he was running hard on this bloop. And Travis Buck, a little bit hesitant about going for 2, but Mark Ellis was burning it around the bases as Eric Burns picked the ball up and then threw the ball in to second. But watch Mark Ellis run and watch him turn the bag. I mean, that is turning on the afterburners as he rounded the bag at second. And of course, it was the calf injury last year, but Babaleo working on his base running and his running technique. And it has really shown and definitely showed there.
Cliff Pennington is the hitter. Ellis the winning run at third with 1 out. So a long chat at the mound. See exactly what the Mariners will do. After Pennington, it would be Rajay Davis.
Well, you start thinking about the first base open. Do you walk intentionally the runner, the confidence, and the pitcher to throw strikes if you do that? So Don Wakamatsu bringing everybody in, and the outfielders have to come in a little bit farther. The infield definitely in for it, playing for play at the plate.
There is your winning run, Mark Ellis. Pennington 0 for 1 with a couple of walks tonight. Chance to be the hero. Inside.
I think in this situation with Don Wakamatsu pitching to Pennington, even though a right-handed batter in the on-deck circle, it's tough to intentionally walk a guy and then make sure he can throw strikes to the next batter.
I agree. I've never been a fan of, unless it's absolutely a must, but of walking the bases loaded.
Well, or depending on your pitcher too. Yeah. You know, if you have a veteran that you know he can potentially walk somebody and still throw strikes, then
it puts a lot of pressure on the defense and the pitcher when you walk the bases loaded. Catcher calls timeout.
Teixeira, unlike the pitchers coming in advance of him on the bullpen, he does not throw particularly hard. Number 9 is with the fastball, curveball, slider, and changeup, but good downward movement on his fastball.
Pitch out, just in case. 2-0. Kanakoa Teixeira. Three and 0.
This is a way of intentionally walking him, basically. And first fastball missed, and then 2 pitch outs. Mike Hagan go through signs. You ever see a squeeze on 3 and 0
after 2 pitch outs? Just off the plate, and it's the walk. So the bases are loaded for Rajay Davis.
Now batting, center fielder, number 11,
See if Rajai Davis can be a hero.
And the Mariners are, of course, with the one out. The play will be at the plate. Rajai Davis does not have as much room between the infield and the outfielders because the outfielders are playing shallow. Still, there's a lot of holes out there.
Down and away to Davis. Rajai is 0 for 4. The check goes down to Alfonso Marquez.
Rajai just stay back. This is something that you don't see a lot of. Rajai out in front on a slider, checking his swing. And he really improved last year by staying back and hitting a lot of balls to right field, waiting for the ball to come to him.
1-1 pitch. Pop up. Kochman near the seats, slides, and he can't get it.
Well, Ellie was tagging. I wish he'd caught it.
Yeah.
Because Mark Ellis,
we would have had some action.
Yeah, he was tagging it and more than likely would have scored because for Kochman to go and slide and have to pop up and make the throw. I think he just shied away from it, although he did go after it. Just ran out of room with the field level box seats.
So now the count 1-2. Curveball, swing and a miss in the dirt. So a frustrating at bat for Rajai Davis. He went out of the strike zone a couple times. And you saw a pretty good curveball from Teixeira, and he was able to haul it out. The real good one when he got ahead of the count.
Let's see, the difference here is going after the ball. Rajai, again, became a very good hitter last year because he didn't go after pitches like that. He let them come, and when you stay back and you wait longer, then you don't swing at pitches in the dirt.
Here's a chance for Derek Barton, who takes high.
It's right now the most patient hitter on the club.
Yep, you got to throw a strike to this guy. Barton 0 for 3. He walked in the third. Two and 0.
I'd like to see the A's first one of the season. Wouldn't be bad on a walk-off walk.
We are not fussy.
No. Take that first W any way you can get it.
Single, a double, a walk. Strike, outside corner. He took a little off, had a little tail, but it caught the outside corner. 2-1. Barton still in the driver's seat, head in the count. Teixeira better be careful. Could win it on a balk, too, right?
Yeah, especially with Davidson up right behind the plate.
3-1. Got to come in here. Crowd to its feet. Long look in by Teixeira, and now
shaking off a lot of pitches.
Exactly. And I'm not sure that you have this is the time to be running through your repertoire of pitching.
Well, Sean Figgins kind of hit the catcher Moore on the chest. I just wonder if Adam Moore was continue to put down the same sign, which a catcher at times will do. If he's dead set on a certain pitch that he wants to have the pitcher throw.
3-1. Popped up, shallow left. Burns coming in, and the A's do not score. They leave them loaded, and we're going to the 10th. tied at 1. Contact your provider to find the game in your area. That's Thursday, 7 o'clock. Shucks on Ox. Hey, it's time for a change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and spawn experts. Edouard Ramirez comes in to pitch. He's the 5th pitcher for the A's tonight. Braden, Ziegler, Breslow, Bailey, and Ramirez. So first appearance for Ramirez in the green and gold.
An addition by the Athletics in spring training, similar to Chad Godin. Ramirez reminiscing with Don Wakamatsu, one of his coaches when he first came up. So A's will see a pretty good changeup, or the Mariners will see a pretty good changeup from Ramirez.
Fouled toward the Mariner dugout. Edouard Ramirez takes over. Frustrating night for the A's, especially in the bottom of the 9th. Good changeup. That was an Andy.
Well, cambio, as they say, the excellent changeup and right over the top, and again, looks so much like a fastball. So the Mariners now seeing a right-handed version of Dallas Braden's changeup.
Ramirez had a decent year for the Yankees in 2008. And struggled last year. Made 20 relief appearances for the Yanks. Somehow Eric Burns did not swing at that. I'm not sure how he laid off, but he did. Give him credit for that. 3-2. Burns is 0 for 3.
Just elevate it a little bit and throw it again.
Bounced. Kuzmanov has it. Straightens up. And that's the first down.
So the kind of the bio on Ramirez from the Dominican Republic. Interesting to note that the foreign-born players, percentage-wise, Major League Baseball at 27%.
Yeah, I read that today.
But more amazing is the number of minor league players. 48% of the minor league players are foreign-born.
Huh.
That's an amazing number.
Wow. Pennington on one hop. Throws a little wide, but Bartlett stays on the bag. 2 outs. Justin Dukeshire will pitch tomorrow night, so we are looking forward to seeing Duke back on the mound.
Just matches last start against the Giants, his third and final exhibition start. So last season, All-Star as a reliever, also as a starter.
He'll be opposed by the left-hander Ryan Roland Smith. Our coverage starts with A's pregame live at 6:30, and then the ball game at 7 o'clock. Strike on the outside corner. 1-1 to Jack Wilson. We're in the 10th. Wilson 0 for 6 on the season. A good swing there. 1-2. The only other game still being played. They're going to the bottom of the 9th in Anaheim. The Twins with a 5-3 lead. Joe Nathan is not coming in for the Twins.
He's not.
John Rauch is. 2-2 Wilson with Ichiro in the on deck circle, so this is an important guy to get.
Let's see Ichiro tomorrow night at about 7:07. Next time to see him.
Yeah. Little flare, left center. Davis on the run, goes into a dive. Did he catch it? Yes, he did. Rajay Davis tracking it down. Goes into a slide. Takes a double away from Jack Wilson. He's trying to win it in the bottom of the 10th.
The special deal is available for every Friday game, including fireworks nights and game against the Red Sox, Giants, and more, but only as supplies last. For more information, order online, OaklandAthletics.com.
Kennecott Teixeira back out there for his second inning of work. Houdini act in the bottom of the 9th. Was able to work his way out of the jam. The A's had the bases loaded and 1 out.
Well, in hindsight, they have 3-1 and a pitcher making his major league debut. Make him throw 2 strikes. Yeah, I mean, threw a good pitch and a hittable pitch. Derek was a little bit late on it, but say, I'll make you throw 2. If you can throw, you get the out, I'll tip you.
2-2 now to Sweeney, who's 0 for 4. And 1 for 8 in the early going this year. So strikeout number 7 for Mariners pitchers tonight. Second time Sweeney has struck out.
Now batting.
Slider down and
Third
in.
baseman.
Not a lot of movement on it, but
Kevin
great location.
Kuzmanov.
So we've seen the slider, seen hard curveball, a fastball.
Pitches in the dirt. Swung and missed.
Says in the media guide that Teixeira is a cousin of Shane Victorino from the Phillies.
Be happy to sign the contract that Victorino signed with the Phillies. And it's loading up again, getting Doc Halladay from the Toronto Blue Jays. When his Philadelphia debut yesterday against the Nats.
Inside corner, a strike called 2-1. On the ground, past the diving Jack Wilson, a base hit for Kuzmanov. He's 2 for 4.
It's all about positioning. Jack Wilson, off-speed pitch, probably thought Kuzmanov was going to pull the ball a little bit more, but instead towards the middle. And Wilson has a very strong arm. It's the reason he went to the ground to try to catch the ball.
Now batting the catcher, number 8.
Right. Well, just eluded it.
Suzuki.
Here's Kurt Suzuki. Kurt is 1 for 4. The one hit, a home run in the 4th. There's one game going on still in the National League. Padres leading the Diamondbacks in Arizona 5-3. Twins and the Angels in the bottom of the 9th in Anaheim. Popped up just below us.
Got an inside the park home run on opening day for Stephen Drew.
Stephen Drew, yep.
Almost caught Dan Herron, who was on base in front of him. He was at first and had to keep running.
Just a bit off the plate, 2-1. Barry Zito pitched well today for the Giants and got a win. Giants beat the Astros 3-0.
After his last outing against the A's, that's an accomplishment. Yeah.
Quick throw. A's with 7 hits in the game. Base hit left field. So the A's got action again here in the 10th.
And Eric Patterson's not going to pinch run for Kevin Kuzmanov to get a little extra speed on the base pass. That Xavi or Ellie, depending on what happens, can. Because right now, I think you and I could score from second base considering where the outfielders are playing. All running inside to Kurt Suzuki and Lopez kind of guarding the line, opening up a huge hole in the left side of the infield.
So Kuzmanov, a 2-hit night. And here's Eric Chavez, who's 1 for 4 tonight, 1 for 8 on the season. What a great way to end the night. A base hit by Eric Chavez. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, the left field right between third and short.
Twins have defeated the Angels 5-3. John Rauch had a 3-up, 3-down bottom of the 9th. So replacement for Joe Nathan gets his first save. Patterson decent lead at second. 2-0.
We talk about Eric Chavez. He's not played a lot the last couple, 2 or 3 years, and even these situations, got a chance with a base hit to win a game. Rick Adair's going to visit with Teixeira. These are all things that you think, oh, he's a major league player, 13 years in the big leagues. It's not that easy to put yourself in a position to get a base hit to win a game in the bottom of the 10th inning. Trying to be patient, trying to be aggressive, selective with the strike zone. And
well, not only had 30 at bats last year, so really basically he didn't play last year.
Exactly.
And on top of that, you really want to do well. He's in a good spot here, 2-0. Popped him up, and that is going to reach the seats.
That's called aggressive. Got a strike, just a little bit too quick. That's the adrenaline.
That one was a good one to hit. See if he can get another one right in the same spot. Right there, he took it 2-2. That one will be a little bit toward the outside half.
And a fastball at 91, and again, Xavi would have to go into left field, and that would have been a perfect pitch. Might have been looking something off speed.
Good swing there. He fouled it straight back. Singles by Kuzmanov and Suzuki after the Sweeney strikeout here in the 10th. And the A's in position to win it. To left, hit well, Burns back, but Burns is going to get there, and he makes the catch.
And that's the beauty of playing deep.
Yep.
And that's the only thing that saved him. Xavi hit it with normal positioning for a left-handed hitter. Would have been over his head. Could not hit it any better. He stayed on it. Oh, great swing. That's the power going the opposite field. He's looking to see, but then realizing his former teammate playing deep, going back on the ball just a couple of steps to make the play.
Good at bat from Eric Chavez, although that's no consolation right now. Here's Mark Ellis. Ellis went after that slider and rolls it foul. He's stranded 10 through the first 9 innings. Another breaking pitch, and Ellis hits that one foul toward the Mariners dugout. Does have a pretty good breaking ball.
Yes, he
Sharp.
does. Michael Wirtz still on the disabled list. A cheerleader now until he's activated, which we hope is soon.
0-2, right field, and that's going to win it for the A's. Mark Ellis on an 0-2 pitch, slices one to right. Patterson scores, and the A's get win number 1 in 2010. So it took 10 innings, but a walk-off by Mark Ellis, and he sends everybody home happy, including his teammates.
Guys are so excited they didn't know where to run and who to talk to, but you finally get a win, get your first of the season, talk to everybody.
Well, Mark Ellis is a good veteran hitter, and he saw 2 straight breaking balls from Teixeira, and then he threw him a third one on 0-2, and you could tell Mark hung in there, stayed back, right center field, and it was a game winner. So the A's win it 2-1 in 10 innings. Mark Ellis is the hero, so we will wait. Get a microphone for Mark, and we'll check in with him, but it's always nice to get the first win. Of course, it's easy to say, but it was also a night that if you don't win the game, you're going to go home ticked off because there was chances to win the game. Your pitcher is great, Dallas Braden. He strikes out 10, so it really was one of those games that would stick with you for a while if you didn't win it.
And you look at last night, you look at the 4 errors and 3 unearned runs. The A's ended up losing that game by a couple of runs, so a great win tonight to finally get the first of the season.
Mark Ellis is downstairs. Mark, thanks for joining us. Great job. We just talked about the fact that Teixeira threw you 2 breaking pitches, got you